we go again. This year, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022. Activision and Infinity Ward decided to release the campaign of this game a week early for those who pre-ordered it. This was a good tactic to get people to pre-order the game, but the question for us is, did it make the pre-order worth it? Is this campaign one of the great Call of Duty campaigns, or just a slap-together mess like Vanguard's? Well, the short answer is neither. In short, it's a decent campaign with some great moments that stand out, but in my opinion, it falls short of anything memorable, and in a few weeks, I'll have trouble remembering a lot of it. Let me explain. On the surface, this is a great looking and sounding campaign. The lighting and graphics are beautiful to look at, and the guns and other sounds throughout the game sound really realistic and polished. Aesthetically, this is a well-produced product, but it's when you dig into this campaign's bones where the issues really begin. Gameplay-wise, the enemies are what you would expect, but there really isn't a whole lot of variety. The gunplay is fun, but when the enemies it throws at you are the same over and over again, it just gets a bit repetitive. The solution they go with here is to break it all up with different set pieces. However, many of these set pieces feel recycled and all too familiar. You got your AC-130 mission, you got your all gillied up mission, and they just don't live up to the originals. There are a couple set pieces that are standouts, but these moments are brief and usually only a small part to a much longer level. I will say the Dark Water level that Infinity Ward used to showcase the campaign is by far and away the best part of the whole campaign for me, and I could find myself coming back to this campaign for this level alone over and over and over again. It definitely has the replayability that Clean House had, so I'm thankful this campaign has some reason for me to return to it. But the part that I've been avoiding, the part that is keeping me from playing this again most, is the story. Without any spoilers, this is all too familiar and nothing special. So familiar that it feels like the same campaign in a lot of ways as 2019. Like it seriously follows a lot of the same story beats and makes some of the same mistakes because of the story beats. You have many returning characters as well as some new ones, but this time around there really isn't a whole lot of character work that makes any of them feel interesting or developed. Characters do as the plot tells them without revealing too much about who these soldiers are. The writing here just really is run-of-the-mill. Nothing terrible, but stuff that is all too familiar and predictable. It just all feels so uninspired. It also feels like it's on the rails a bit too much. This is a complaint a lot of people have with Call of Duty campaigns, and I don't mind if it's going to be on the rails, but if it is, you gotta have a really great story and really great narrative with awesome characters, and that's just not here. So instead, we need a little bit more player freedom, and that just isn't really here at all. And it's sad that some cool game mechanics like picking up dead bodies and hiding them like in Black Ops Cold War are removed, because they would have added some nice layers to the stealth gameplay that is in this campaign. And speaking of Black Ops Cold War, looking back at it, Modern Warfare 2 could have learned a lot from that game. While that campaign was a bit too short, its characters were decently fleshed out with some returners and some new faces, with the new faces being welcome newcomers and actually pretty interesting and decently developed. And the campaign story took risks and it was pretty creative. On top of that, there was a lot of player choice that changed moments throughout the story, with 2 separate endings as well. It was nothing crazy, and then we haven't seen some other games do even better, but having more options was nice, and no matter what option you chose, the game would just continue. There was no wrong option per se. In the new Modern Warfare 2 campaign, just like the one in 2019, you were given options and choices, but there's only one right choice. I feel like it would have been more interesting if no matter what you chose, the game would just continue. It would go more like a Black Ops Cold War type of campaign. But alas, that is not the case with this game, and we're left with a very traditional Call of Duty campaign here. There are some dialogue moments, but they don't have really any impact on the rest of the game. It doesn't change how a character is going to treat you later on in the game or anything like that. It just feels like a deceptive player choice option, like, hey, we're giving you player choice. There really isn't much of that here, and that's disappointing when Black Ops made some leaps towards that. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a terrible campaign. It's not something that I will say, oh, no one should play. It's a good time. It's fun overall. But is it something I'm going to remember? No. And was it really worth pre-ordering for this campaign? No. But hey, if you really like it, that's awesome, and I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Again, this is just my opinion. Personally, hope the rest of the game is much better, but the way the beta went, I'm not that excited. It still has potential, and I'm hopeful, and I probably will enjoy it still, but this game isn't living up to the expectations that a lot of us had a while back. But I guess we'll just all have to find out for real on October 28th. So, have you played the Modern Warfare 2 campaign? What are your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I hope you're having a blessed day. Blessings.
It's SoHype, I'ma take flight, alright. Would you kinda please give me a like and maybe subscribe if you like? I don't know, but I hope your soul's pity so cold.